Hi friends! Today we will learn about figurative language. So let's start. Once a student sitting in a classroom said, "I am as hungry as a polar bear." Does this mean that the student is actually going to eat as much as a polar bear? No, he overstated the situation to express that he was too hungry. And such language, which doesn't have a literal meaning, is called figurative language. People don't actually mean what they say sometimes. Usually, when we read long texts, it becomes boring for us if it is written in simple and plain language. Figurative language then comes to the rescue of the readers and makes everyday language special. So, figurative language is used for adding beauty to everyday language, giving a dramatic effect on the reader or the listener, making boring text interesting. It also helps in making things clear to the reader as it helps in visualizing. Let's have an example and understand the difference between plain language and figurative language. We have two sentences on two sides. They are written differently, though they mean the same. The boy is very clever. The boy is as clever as a fox. The girl is very busy. The girl is as busy as a bee. It is very hot today. The sun is raining fire today. So, what you see, the text written on the left side is stating facts in a plain language, which makes it none too interesting. The text written on the right side seems interesting to read, and we can also visualize the situations better. So, figurative language makes boring text interesting and makes the meaning of things more clear. For this reason, figurative language is very often used in poetry and novels, which make them interesting to read. Now we will learn some figures of speech which consist of figurative language. And these are simile, metaphor, personification, idiom, hyperbole, automatopoeia, oxymoron. Now, let's learn each figure of speech one by one. First one is simile. We say a simile is used when two similar things are compared by using connecting words such as like or as. Example: he is as clever as a fox. Here, a boy is compared to a fox. The old man was as wise as an owl. Here, an old man is being compared to an owl. The commander roared like a lion. Here, the sound made by the commander is being compared by the sound made by a lion to express that he is shouting very loudly. So, the comparison where we compare two similar things using the words as, like, is known as a simile. Now let's learn next figure of speech, and it is metaphor. We say that a metaphor has been used when a similarity is shown between two not so similar things without using like or as. For example, her voice was music to his ears. Here, it is being suggested that her voice made him happy. Today's homework was a piece of cake. Here, the homework is being compared to a very easy and enjoyable task. So, metaphor is a type of comparison between two not so similar things without using like or as. Let's have a look at more examples. Time is money. My life is a roller coaster. The world is a stage. He is a shining star. She is a dancing peacock. So, in all these examples, two things are being compared, which are not so similar without using as or like. Now let's learn next figure of speech, which is personification. Personification is a way of writing where you describe non-human things with human characteristic. That is, we talk about non-living things like we are talking about living things. For example, the flowers danced in the wind. The flowers are non-human things, but dancing is a human quality. So, we are using the word dancing with a non-living thing, flowers. So, this is a personification. Here, we have another example. The fire swallowed the entire forest. Swallowing is a human quality, as humans swallow their food, but it is being related with fire, a non-human thing. So, this is a personification. Let's have a look at some more examples. Traffic was not running but crawling. She is so gorgeous that camera loves her. Times fly and waits for no one. So, in all these things, we have personified non-living things. Now, let's learn about next figure of speech, and it is idiom. Idiom is an expression in which a meaning is expressed in very different words from the actual meaning. Now let's have a look at some idioms with their usage. Acid test is an idiom. It means a test that proves effectiveness of something. He is performing good in his own country, but his match in Germany would be his real acid test. In this sentence, the idiom acid test is used, which means his real test that will prove his ability. Now, let's have another example. Deliver the goods. This is an idiom which means do what is expected or promised. I have given her the job of cleaning my home. I hope she delivers the goods. Here, the idiom deliver the goods is used in a sentence and it means hope she will do what is expected out of her. Here we have next example. Get ducks in a row. This is an idiom which means getting your things well organized. Now here we have example sentences. In order to ensure the success of completion of the project, you must get your ducks in a row. Here, the idiom get ducks in a row is used, which means make all your things well organized. There are just a whole lot of idioms in the English language. For example, mean business. It means be serious about what you announce. Think on your feet. It means adjusting quickly to changes and making fast decisions. Sail through something. It means being successful in doing something without any difficulty. Tricks of the trade. Clever or expert way of doing something. Work like a charm. Means work very well or has a desired effect. So there are a whole lot of idioms in the English language. Now let's learn next figure of speech, and it is hyperbole. A hyperbole is used to express a strong feeling with the help of overstated and exaggerated language. Let's have a look at examples. "The bag weighed a ton," she cried. The bag's weight could not have been a ton, but the girl said so to exaggerate the situation. So, this is a case of a hyperbole. "I've read this book 1,000 times." No one can possibly read one book 1,000 times, so the situation here is exaggerated. So we would say that a hyperbole has been used. Let's have a look at more examples of hyperbole. "She was as thin as a toothpick." Here, the situation is exaggerated, so it is a hyperbole. "He is running with the speed of light." Here again, the situation is exaggerated, so no one can run with the speed of light. "I am so hungry, I could eat a horse." Here again, the situation is exaggerated. Friends, whenever you see the exaggeration, you can easily say that the hyperbole has been used. Now let's learn another figure of speech, and it is automatopoeia. These are the words whose pronunciation is same as the sounds to which they refer. For example, "The building collapsed with a boom." Here, the word boom is an automatopoeia, as its pronunciation is same as the sound to which it refers. "His phone keeps buzzing all day." Here, the word buzzing is an automatopoeia, as its pronunciation is same as the sound to which it refers. "Cats mew and horses neigh." Here, the word mew and neigh are automatopoeias, as pronunciation is same as the sounds to which they refer. "The ducks quacked in the lake." Here, the word quacked is an onomatopoeia, as its pronunciation is same as the sound to which it refers. "Go and gargle with the mouthwash." Here, the word gargle is an onomatopoeia. "Two snakes hissed at me." Here, the word hiss is an onomatopoeia. "Most cats purr if you pat them behind the ears." Here, the word purr is an onomatopoeia. So, we have learned, what is this? Onomatopoeia. Remember, interjections are not onomatopoeia. They are certain outbursts of feelings. For example, "Oh, hooray, wow." These are not onomatopoeias. Now we will learn next figure of speech, and it is oxymoron. In this figure of speech, a pair of opposite words is placed together. For example, "She had bittersweet feelings for Sandy." The phrase bittersweet has two words that are opposite to each other, and such a phrase is called oxymoron. Oxymoron makes the text interesting to read and sometimes confuses the reader. Let's have some examples of oxymorons. Pretty ugly, pretty fierce, clearly confused, jumbo shrimp, definitely maybe, living dead, virtual reality, happy sad, run slowly, open secret, awfully pretty, typically weird, least favorite, worthless gold, liquid food, short wait, heavy diet, wake up dead. So these are pairs of opposites that are used together to create a drama for reader. Let's see some example sentences. "I guess he is the only honest thief." Here, honest thief is an oxymoron, as honest and thief are two opposites that are placed together. His thinking is very old-fashioned. Here, old-fashioned is an oxymoron, as old and fashion are opposite words. My grandma is deeply superficial person. Here, you can see deeply and superficial are two opposite words used together, so it's an oxymoron. You should never ever trust a stranger. Here, never ever, containing two opposites, so it's an oxymoron. Friends, today we learn a lot about figures of speech. Now you may go ahead and take a quiz to learn more. Bye-bye. Tutway has thousands of animated videos on math, English, and science to clear the core basics of these subjects.